Hello everybody, welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and this is going to be a reading for Capricorn. Any major Capricorn placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Keep in mind, timing and energy is still fluid. This reading could play out at any point in time. This reading may or may not be for you, so please only take with you the messages that resonate. Leave behind the rest. Also keep in mind, I could be speaking directly to you, Capricorn, or I could be speaking directly to a cross watcher. So swap around the energies to make it fit, and please do not cram yourself into a reading that's not meant for you. Okay, Capricorn, let's jump in and see what kind of a message Spirit has in store for you. Bread, a period of prosperity and abundance. So something about the month of February. I think you've been in the throes of transformation and change since about the month of February. Change for the better. I think you need to be careful though, because someone is going to try to come between you and something that you want. So I think you've been in this energy of feeling lack in your life, maybe since about last September. I think you've been in this period of deep dissatisfaction within a situation when it comes to somebody trying to create a wedge between you and something that you want. I think you've been in this deep sense of lack in your life, whether it's lacking love, lacking money, or goals, likely since about September. And I think there was a shift. There was a shift in February when it comes to some change for the better. Maybe you're dealing with somebody that's blowing some smoke out their ass, but I think big changes. I think maybe it's time to go out and have fun. Maybe it's time to tell somebody to fly a kite and to get out of your life. I think you've been dealing with a misunderstanding, which has created all kinds of walls, challenges, and blocks when it comes to prosperity and abundance. I think maybe it's time to go out and have some fun. When I think of grapes, I think of vines. So you might be in a karmic entanglement of some sort. And I think it's time to embrace some big changes. And I do think you've been in this period of growth and change for the better since about February. And maybe it's kind of time to spread your wings and to break free from whoever's trying to create a wedge between you and maybe building prosperity and abundance in your life. I really do think it's time for you to tell somebody to go fly a kite, because I think you're dealing with somebody that's created this lack mentality in your life. I think you are lacking love, which is in turn having a negative effect on your finances and maybe even your goals moving forward. So maybe it's time to look at this deep dissatisfaction and to figure out what is needing to be removed from your life. Maybe it's time to just go out and have some fun and enjoy yourself a little bit. But let's see what else needs to come through. You might need to show compassion to somebody. I do feel, though, this change is to get you to break free from some unhealthy patterns. I think you've been dealing with a situation that really has dwindled your hopes and your dreams for the future, whether this is addictions. Maybe you're dealing with somebody that has some addictions. I think you are encouraged to disconnect and relax, because blessings are trying to come in, Capricorn. But there's a need to release something if you're to regain control of your life, your finances, your hopes, your dreams. I think the universe has a plan here. And there's been a storm of brewing, maybe since about February. And I think it's kind of time for this situation to be balanced out. So major karmic release. I feel you've been in the throes of spiraling out of control, and it's kind of time to regain control of your life, because whatever you're dealing with here, there's something very unhealthy, whether this is a trauma bond, unhealthy patterns within relationships, addictions, extreme codependencies. Something isn't adding up here, and I think it's really put you in the throes of some very shadowy aspects when it comes to your hopes and dreams for the future. So I think get ready for a storm warning, because somebody you're dealing with has been hiding the truth, wearing a mask, and this really has created a lot of dissatisfaction and misunderstandings. I think get ready for somebody to reveal who they really are, and maybe it's time to make plans to go in a new direction. I do think you're dealing with somebody that's got a lot of pride and ego, which has created all kinds of blocks and fears. Maybe you regret ever getting into this situation in the first place. And I think the time is now to kind of break free, to disconnect from something very toxic, very unhealthy, Get ready for some light to be shed on a negative situation when it comes to your personal transformation. These changes really are for the better, so you're really going to need to trust in this universal plan when it comes to this balancing energy, when it comes to this very toxic situation, because it's been a block to your blessings. I think as soon as you release, you're going to see the doorway open to all kinds of prosperity and abundance. Once you release this person that's really created this wedge, this wall, this misunderstanding. But let's jump in with some tarot. Definitely a final ending. I think you're getting ready to cut out somebody or something that's really created a negative situation. I think you're dealing with an unrequited love situation. You could be dealing with somebody that has somebody in the background. I think you're just tired of the lies, the manipulation, somebody not reciprocating. There's been a lot of manipulation here, definitely with the Ten of Swords, the Queen of Swords reversed. I think you're getting ready to use that double-edged sword to cut somebody out of your life that's really not been reciprocating. I think there's a lack of reciprocity, a lack of, emotional acknowledgement, a lack of reciprocity for sure. And you're dealing with a master manipulator here. Could be dealing with a Cancer, with the moon energy, or a Pisces. But I think get ready for an awakening. What was hidden in the dark is coming to light. I think you've been living in a fantasy, living in an illusion. Somebody here has had the veil of illusion over your eyes, Capricorn, and it very well could be a Cancer. And there's a lot of truth coming forward when it comes to these addictive, unhealthy patterns. So let's see what needs to come through for you. What does Capricorn need to be aware of, please? Yeah, I think you've been depressed, you've been suppressed. It's kind of time for this cosmic rebalancing. It's time to bring some healing into your life. We've got the Strength card with the Five of Swords and the Four of Cups reversed. So this is kind of coming out of stagnancy, coming out of this deep repression. And, depression really is soul suppression. So I think you've really been suppressed by some manipulation here, and you're really gathering your strength, I think, to kind of break free from a very unhealthy, toxic situation that I think has caused you all kinds of emotional and financial distress. And I think you've been in this period of grieving, not wanting to move forward. Somebody here has been keeping your foot stuck in the wheel, resistant to this change, resistance to taking that first step forward in a new direction with the Three of Wands reversed and the Wheel of Fortune reversed. Maybe because you don't want to grieve this ending. I think maybe you've got a lot of memories here. Maybe at one point in time there was a lot of love, but I think if you look at this card here, we've got the Ace of Cups in the background and the Five of Cups up front, and we've got that paired with the Five of Cups. So we've got an Ace of Cups here in the background that I don't think, oh my God, yeah, we do got an Ace of Cups in the background here that you don't see coming. And there's something that you need to release. Somebody here really has kept you from stepping into fortune, wealth, abundance. And I think you're about to get the rug pulled out from under you, to be honest, Capricorn, because you're stuck in a situation. I think somebody's been playing on your heartstrings here. And I think not wanting to grieve this ending. Maybe you've been in a period of extended grieving. There's quite a few cups out here. So I think this has been a very emotional, unhealthy pattern for you to kind of break free from. And I think right now you are encouraged to open up the heart to some self-love and some self-care. Wherever you've been at, somebody's been keeping you up all night. Stressed, anxiety, poor health in the mind space. Keeping you stuck when it comes to these memories. And I think you have been grieving, and you're really going to need to put some boundaries up. Yeah, you've been resistant to this release because I think at one point in time, this looked like ultimate fulfillment for you. And I do think this kind of hurts. It kind of hurts to bring this into your illumination when it comes to, a final ending here. Nines are completion. So you've been all stuck up in a situation that's, there's been secrets, there's been lies, there's been manipulation. I think you felt really stuck. I think you're both very dissatisfied in a situation. And I think you've both kind of been juggling, going back and forth when it comes to maybe bringing something to a complete end. Somebody here might be packing up and moving homes because you know, you've been stuck. We go the 6, the 7, and the 8. So you're progressing for sure. But, you know, you've kind of been juggling back and forth, not sure what to do. I think get ready for some heated discussions when it comes to releasing a long-standing burden. I think maybe, you know, there's some regrets when it comes to a poor judgment call. I think at one point in time, there was a lot of passion. Maybe you did work well together, but I think maybe a snake kind of got in the mix. I think you're dealing with somebody that's a smooth talker here, that knows how to manipulate with their words. I think you're dealing with a snake, and it's kind of time to take that leap of faith in a new direction. The universe has a great big gift here for you. Prosperity and abundance lies ahead, but you're going to have to take a leap of faith. You're going to have to put this past baggage to bed. I think it's kind of time to take that first step that you've been resisting to take. I think you've really thought long and hard about this. I think you know you're dealing with a snake, and I think this foundation has been crumbling for quite some time. There's been a lot of power struggles here. There's been a lot of arguments, and it's kind of time to break free and to rebalance this situation. You're dealing with somebody that's not been completely invested. They've been juggling you, maybe juggling more than one, and I think somebody might be coming forward with a confession. This is part of your expansion is what I feel. Definitely a poor judgment call, resistance to this awakening. There's going to be some truth exposed when it comes to a snake that's in the mix here, because I think it's kind of time for healing these addictive behaviors, for healing this toxic, unhealthy pattern, codependency for sure. And I think it's kind of time to go into the depths of healing this. That's your energy, Capricorn. So let's look into this devil energy a little bit further. Temperance. Prince of Swords, Prince of Pentacles, Three of Cups. Healing some third-party interference, I feel. I kind of feel you've known about this third party for quite some time. Yeah, you have. You've known. You have known that there was something kind of going on. Maybe you didn't have the proof, but I think you had an intuitive hunch. And I think there's going to be a confession or some exposure in order to break you free from this prison cell that you've created for yourself. I think you've wanted to break free and go in a new direction, but I think you were kind of looking for some proof here. And I think, you know, the cat is kind of out of the bag. Somebody here is definitely going towards somebody in the background, whether they've already done this or not. You've already had this deep knowing of this betrayal that's kind of been going on below the surface. And I think this exposure really is going to bring forward a lot of victory and success. And it's going to kind of get you back on track when it comes to, you know, going towards love, going towards everything that you deserve, because I think you've been dissatisfied, Capricorn. You could be dealing with a Leo. You could be dealing with a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, an Aries, another Capricorn, or a water sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Sag, Pisces with the High Priestess. But I think it's kind of time for something to come full circle. I think you're getting ready to deliver a very harsh message. I think get ready for a quick turn of events. We got the fastest knight in the deck and the slowest knight in the deck. So I think you've really thought long and hard. And I think things are about to get worse if you don't kind of break free and go in a new direction. The universe is saying it's time for moderation. It's time for balance is kind of what I'm feeling. So let's look into this Rico Suave energy. Yeah, get ready for a tower. Get ready for unexpected shakeup, because it's kind of time for this cosmic rebalancing. Libra, you could be dealing with a Libra. More Pisces energy just came out with the Justice, the Hanged Man, the Three of Swords reversed, and the Tower. So, you know, when we don't embrace these changes that we've been guided to make, that's when the universe comes in and brings this brute force in order for us to embrace these changes. So there's going to be some exposure, and I think there's a foundation burning to the ground, and you're going to have to go in a new direction. So this really is a part of your expansion. This is a part of you learning something new, going beyond these old patterns, breaking free from these restrictions. So I think you've been playing the martyr, you've been playing the victim, you've been playing into this codependency, you've been very unhappy, very depressed, very suppressed, needing to gather your strength to allow the universe to spin you forward. I think you're dealing with somebody that's created all kinds of blocks, all kinds of mental confusion, playing on your heartstrings when it comes to some memories. You know, I think at one point, you know, maybe it was good, it was fun, it was childlike, it was great. And then somewhere along the lines, it's turned into something very stuck and stagnant that's caused you a lot of anxiety. And self-love is going to be needed to heal the broken heart, I feel. You've not wanted to feel this. I think the universe sees and hears everything. And, you know, sometimes rejection is God's protection. So I think, you know, learning a valuable lesson when it comes to martyrdom and playing the victim. Blessings are coming your way, but there needs to be this shift, and you need to go through a period of healing when it comes to this ending, when it comes to this betrayal, because you've been, you know, in a power struggle with somebody, and it's kind of time to speak up and to be heard, Capricorn. I think it was a poor judgment call, and I do feel a lot of universal brute force when it comes to this snake in the mix. Yeah, because you're moving on. You're definitely moving on. It's kind of time to learn something new. You know, to get in the driver's seat, go in a new direction, to plant those seeds in a new direction, because you've been dealing with a master manipulator here, and I think it's kind of time to make that unexpected choice. It's time to do the work, to do the deep dive when it comes to self-love, self-value, self-worth. I think this was a connection where you didn't know your worth, you didn't know your value, you were easily manipulated. And, you know, this has been a burden, and you've thought long and hard about, you know, what do I do about this? And you're going towards independence, and that's where, you know, wishes lie. I think you're building a foundation for yourself. You've been in a situation spiraling out of control. It's time to regain control of your life, Capricorn. It's time to have that tough conversation. I think a lot of heated arguments back and forth when it comes to this poor judgment call. But this is ultimately going to lead you in a new direction, free from these extreme codependencies. Somebody's got you chained to the devil, and it's kind of time to break yourself free is kind of what I'm feeling. So, you know, Capricorn, be brave. You can do this. You can do this because you have to do this for yourself. It's time for you to embrace these changes, because wherever you've been at, whoever you've been dealing with, they really did create this energy of, you know, I think you've lost who you were in this connection, and it's kind of time to get back to self. It's kind of time to reconnect with yourself in the heart space, because this is very unhealthy. This is very toxic, and it's kind of time to nurture yourself, to know your worth, to know your value, to take a step back and take that breathing room that you need, and to reconnect with yourself in the heart space, because you're dealing with somebody who doesn't actually love you, who really isn't supporting you, quite possibly belittles you, mentally mind fucks you and makes you feel small to keep you stuck. And I think it's kind of time to break free, because when you kind of go in that new direction, that's when the outcome is going to bring you a lot of happiness and prosperity. So I think you're learning a very valuable lesson here when it comes to releasing people, places, and things that really aren't serving your mission, that aren't serving your highest good. So I think you've been going through a period of purification, and now you're kind of in the home stretch when it comes to breaking free from this very toxic person, this very toxic situation. And, you know, only allowing people and family and, you know, friendships in your life that will offer you the support that you've been seeking. So I think it's kind of just time to let go and release. Allow spirit to take the lead, because I kind of feel this really is in the divine's hands with all of this major arcana. And you're kind of just being called to be that pillar of strength, because whatever challenges, misunderstandings, and walls are coming up to be addressed, you are capable of overcoming these. And that's kind of what I've got for you, Capricorn. I hope this helped. I hope this resonated. If you would like to book a personal or a twin flame reading with me, please feel free to check out that description box below, and I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.